Hi, Elaine Williams here with Captivate the Mic. This is part two of my interview with Ron Reich on leadership, mission statements, and workplace culture. It was so juicy, we had to break it into two sections. So enjoy. And if you haven't heard the first part, make sure you go back and listen. Welcome, everybody, to Captivate the Mic with Elaine Williams. And I have the biggest treat for everybody. This is the first male on the podcast because he is such an amazing, spiritual, earnest, good-hearted master, trainer, communicator, friend, Ron Reich. I'm so happy that you're here.
Oh, let's talk about this for a second, because again, you're reminding me of something that I haven't thought about in
That's what I do.
many years now. I did some work for a manufacturing facility out in western New Jersey. Okay, I got to know the plant manager fairly well. Nice guy. And I did talk to a lot of the people on his own team and down on the manufacturing floor and so forth. And it was so sad because nobody liked him. Very few people liked him. They were just like, oh, him, the dictator, just all of these different things. Okay. I'm in his office and again, building the relationship with him. We're talking and he said, so how did your conversations go with people? And I was like, very few people like you here. And he
Ooh,
looked
you
at me
just
and
put it
was
out
like,
there. You just put it out there.
and yeah, again, I don't need to get into all the details here. The point I was like, Ans, you need to get out there and spend time with them. You need to get to know them and talk to them. He was emotional, Elaine, and I still remember this. He was like, Ron, I want to. What's going on here? We've got the merger coming up in about 5 months. I've got to reconfigure the manufacturing floor. I have electrical problems, all these things. I'm sitting there and I was like, Ans, you're talking first person singular.
Instead
It's
of we.
I,
Right.
it's I. Who do you think might have some ideas about how you could reconfigure the floor? Who do you think might have some ideas about how you could solve the electrical problems? And you could see, I was so happy, you could see the light bulb coming on for him.
Right.
He was just like, yeah, I don't have to do it all myself. And that's the kind of culture you want to build where people will even come, hey, boss, you know what? I think we can change the floor around. This machine should be, whatever it might be, just whatever it might be.
I love it, Ron. And that's a lot of people who listen are speakers, coaches, solopreneurs. However, I'm always like, how's your workplace culture, Elaine? Oh, my boss can be a bitch. Who's your boss? Me. Am I being kind? Am I being an empathetic listener to myself? No. But yeah, that's one reason I'm so big into community. I'm part of this group called the Dames, and we have think tanks, and women will come and bring, I'm really bumping up against this, and the other women will pour into her. And even if I don't have as much experience as some of these ladies who are seven and eight figures, I learned so much from just witnessing the think tank. And yeah, I just love that. What a great story.
And Elaine, I think about this not a whole lot, enough though, I really do, in that, because you just said the
Solopreneurs. Yeah.
solopreneurs thing, I get the term mixed up. Thank you. They need a mission statement.
Yeah.
What's the culture you want to have with yourself? What are your defined values? Are you living them? And are you making your decisions based on the mission statement you have developed for yourself?
Yeah.
Because if not, it's gonna, in all likelihood, I can't guarantee it, I won't still. The decisions are going to be so scattered and so inconsistent where it's, man, you need that.
Yeah. In fact, I'm going to share this with you. I feel very vulnerable, but my whole mission with the podcast is to entertain, inspire, educate, motivate. And my whole philosophy is I'm a work in progress. I am a master with some of the things that I do, and I'm also always learning and evolving. So I'm taking this program with one of my clients. We ended up working together. I helped her with her keynote. and she knocked out of the park and got a $7,500 speaking gig because of the work we did on her talk for Berkeley. So I'm like, yes. Anyway, so now I'm in her program and I'm doing some deep emotional healing work, unlearning more things, peeling away more layers. And I'm just laughing because I had the biggest aha today. And I think you might appreciate this, Ron. I grew up crazy family, lots of alcohol and drugs and insanity. And I've spent a lifetime healing. And I share my story when I feel like it's appropriate. And what I realized was I still have a tendency. So I grew up in the chaos of living with, there's the crazy person here, and she might be sweet, but the next night she's crazy, and then she throws things, and the other adults can't seem to confront. There was just a lot of crazy stuff that happens. And then I was attracted more crazy in my 20s. And then by the grace of God, I had spiritual awakenings and was able to get into recovery. And it's been quite the journey. However, I'm noticing a pattern that I'm like, wow. Like the first step is awareness. I notice that why am I still feeling so frenetic, right? Why do I still feel anxious and I was like, Elaine, if you're the entrepreneur, you're running your business, you're the one you're reporting to, right? Like the common denominator is you. And I
Right.
just noticed that, oh, I have a tendency to take on too many things and try to do too many different programs or certificate, whatever, on top of leadership things, on top of caretaking for not one parent, but two, on
Right.
top of, and I just listed all the things that are on my plate as I'm writing this. And I was like, okay, and I'm sure I had little ahas into this previously, but for some reason it like really landed on me that I can't blame my anxiety, my anxious state on a boss anymore, right? It's so much easier when you have agents or whatever. And so I really got present today, literally a few hours ago, of wow, that it's an unconscious thing that I do. And I'm still getting stuff done and I love the work that I do, blah, blah, blah. But when you're trying to do too many things at once, it can be a sea of mediocrity, or you feel like, oh, I'm doing 8 projects and two of them are moving forward and the rest are being
Yeah.
dragged along or whatever. So, anyway, I wanted to share that because it was like a brand new whoa. And my friends might be like, duh. But do you have anything to add to that, my
One of
amazing
the
master trainer?
one of the most important things anybody can do, anybody, again, solopreneur, CEO, I don't care whether you're an individual contributor, whatever. You want to be effective, probably the most important thing you can do, get to know yourself extraordinarily well and on an incredibly deep level. Because
Mm,
the better you know yourself and the more and more layers you peel off, the more you will realize, okay, this is who I am. This is what I am. This is how I have behaved in the past. It doesn't have to be this way. Just
right,
real quickly, Elaine, because growing up, my dad and I were never really that close for a lot of different reasons, and I don't need to get into all of it.
right,
There was no abuse or anything like that. That's not where I'm going with this. My point, though, is like I was always just kind of I felt less than, and just like God, I'm just this blob that's around here, if you will. We're at a family event, okay? I'll never ever forget. My cousin Tom was talking to my dad, and I could overhear them. I wasn't listening like that. I could just overhear them. Tom asked my dad, Freddie, my dad's name was Fred. Freddie, tell me about your dad. Tell me about him. My grandfather, obviously on my dad's side, who I never met. Elaine, my dad went ballistic. He went ballistic on Tom. You want to know about my bleeping father? And my dad was no choir boy. He didn't curse like this, though. You want to know about him? He was a loser. Tommy, all he ever did was move. He could never hold a job. And he went on. And I was sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, and I'm in my 30s.
okay,
I'm thinking to myself, You know what? I have always suspected that that grandpa, who I never met, was a raging alcoholic. And I think that's what was going on there.
Mm,
They always moved. He couldn't hold a job. And I bet you that's how grandpa treated my dad. And it has come down to me. And where I went with it, I accepted my dad for who he was, what he was. He and I got very close for the last 20 years of his life.
nice.
And it has allowed me, though, equally as important with our topic, though, Elaine, I was always quiet, always, because I was like, if I say something, I'm probably just going to get yelled at. Or just, no, that's not right. You shouldn't think like that. How dare
You
you
learn to
have a
like,
different opinion? So
I'm going to
I just got
navigate around
quiet.
this. Yeah.
I've gotten so much better at it. I was on a client call yesterday. I have a class coming up next week. The client made a comment about, yeah, she said, I think what I'll probably do is I'll call a meeting maybe a month after the training and talk to everybody about what they're using and so forth. And I was just like, Adrian, you know what? It's a good idea. The only thing, though, that I'm going to ask you to change or that I would highly recommend you change sooner than a month, two
Yeah.
weeks.
Me too.
Two,
I was like, no, don't wait a month.
and my point is, Elaine, the old Ron, oh, month is fine. Say nothing. Don't offer anything because all of it, they may not like you or what if. You know what she said? Oh, okay, that makes sense, Ron. Okay, okay. Speak up. Speak up, Ron. It's okay. You do have something to offer.
Yeah. And I work with a lot of women, and I think sometimes we think that men aren't struggling with that. So thank you for being so vulnerable. It's like it's not just with women. It's
Oh,
human. It's team human.
yeah,
So,
that's exactly right.
yes. And so sometimes when I have my guests come on, I will give them a tweak or two about some of their stories. And you're such a master communicator facilitator. Someday I would like to play with humor, maybe a little bit, because I know you crack some jokes, and I always think maybe there's something else we could play with that.
Okay.
And but I always wanted people who are listening to come away with a couple of great speaking tips. And so I'm going to share a couple of Ron's things, and then you can add on to what I talk
Sure,
about.
sure,
So
sure,
one of
sure.
the things I love about Ron that has rubbed off on me is he is like super duper prepared. He writes his own cue card thingies, the flip charts. He goes over that. When he's leading a new program or class or seminar, he is there an hour before it starts. An hour before it starts. So there's no scrambling and there's no, oh, where are the lights? He is there an hour because I've been nervous and wanted to fix my hair one more time because I'm a woman or because I'm nervous. And then I'm rushing on to the college thing. And then college campuses can be so confusing. And there's nothing worse than being late when you have pressure already. And so I know that getting to a place early is can be so grounding. And I love that feeling of being so prepared. I'm like, let me at him. I can't wait. Let's go.
All
It's
right.
so much a better feeling than, oh God, why didn't I run this? So would you like to add
Yeah.
on to that for our listeners?
Elaine, I think for me, that is such a key point. Playing with humor. Can you hear Jasmine?
Yes, she is
She's
the cutest
barking on
dog.
the,
I
I've got
love
the door shut and she's crying.
I love their dog. I will come dog
Jazz, you'll
sit for
be
you in a
fine. I'll
New
be
York
there in a
second.
few minutes. The preparation piece for me is absolutely critical. And I think one of the most important parts of that too, though, Elaine, is as I had said to you, what I love to do in that time beforehand is just talk to people and let them know this event, whether it's a training session, whether it's a meeting or whatever it might be, it's going to be fun. I'm human. I'm a nice guy. I'm not here I am the expert. You shall listen and say, hey, looking forward to hearing your insights and just please, whatever, just all of those different things. I think one of the big things too is, for me at least, smiling.
And now a quick message. If you are a speaker, coach, author, or someone who wants to climb the corporate ladder and you know you need to work on your executive presence, your ability to speak powerfully and succinctly with vocal variety and vocal power and presence, I would love to have a chat with you and see if it's the right fit. Now, we're back to the show.
Just smiling. Again, a story, this is on my mind, and I'll fill you in on the details later. When I got recertified, probably about 6, 7 years now, whatever, for the 7 habits. Okay, the woman at Franklin Covey who was going to be doing the certification, she was emailing my colleague and I. There were going to be two of us in this session, and I was a little nervous because she was like all over this. Where it's like, we're starting at 8:30. Please make sure you're here on time. Our time is so precious
You're
together.
like, okay,
Make
okay.
sure of that. And I was like, holy man, I'm a little nervous. I know I'm in my 50s, Elaine, and I've got a boatload of experience, and I'm a little nervous. I walked into that training room on the day of a little bit early because that's who I am. She had her back to me. She was sitting in her chair writing something or just doing whatever. I don't remember her name. I'm going to call her Grace. I'll never forget. She turns around and she did just what you were doing. She smiled. Good morning. Are you Ron or are you Greg? And I was like, hi, Grace. Hi, Grace. Good morning. I'm Ron. Ron, it's a pleasure. Instantly. I was like, it's fine.
Nice.
It's fine. This is not a problem. She's not a jerk. She's just intense. She wants the best for us. And that's
Yeah.
exactly what it was.
Yes. A smile will go such a long way. And here's what's the crazy thing is like when we are preoccupied, when we are distracted, when we are nervous or our attention is on ourselves, that's when we forget to smile and we forget to breathe. And sometimes just a smile and hello is whoa, it can shift something so
Yeah,
quick.
exactly.
I
It's
love it.
exactly
Okay,
it.
Ron, we could talk forever, but I feel like this is a great place to wrap it up. If people want to know more about you, where should we send them?
Oh, probably the best place, Elaine, LinkedIn.
Like LinkedIn.
Just go to LinkedIn, Ron Reich, Reich, RLB Training and Development. You can learn more about me. Message me. I'll be glad to talk to anybody, just
Yes.
anybody about anything.
He's he's just an open book and wants to give back and does you do amazing trainings and he has a newsletter and an email list so if you want to come be more because someday Ron and I are going to do some kind of really fun workshop together and I can't wait. We're still percolating on all of that. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening and watching. And I ask you if you're getting good value out of this content, please share it with two friends. Please pass it on and please subscribe, rate, and review because that tells the algorithms to push the podcasts out more. And I know there are a lot of podcasts, and there are actually a lot of podcasts who only make it to 5 or 10 episodes. And then people realize, hey, this is a lot of work. But my mission is to help heal the world, one joke, one story, one video, one episode at a time. And so thank you for being a part of my mission. And thank you, Ron. It was a pleasure as always.
Thank you, Elaine. It's always good to see you.
Bye, everybody.